Hello friends and hello student. My name is Ashok Sijala. In this session, we learn the Fibonacci series in C language using recursion function call. So yes, here I share my laptop screen and here fix the position so you can watch better way my video lecture. And here Turbo C++, I double click and take some process, and now yes is open Alt F file menu and taking new file. And here our goal of this session, write a program to print Fibo, Fibonacci series, and using recursion. Okay, recursion technique method, or we can say the recursion function call. Yes, that word also used. So yes, first that every definition we can divide input, yes, then process, and then output. Yes, divide and conquer. So like block diagram of computer: input device, process, 3 unit, and then output. So that same we have to here apply to our divide and conquer. So what is input? So one, we have to number of terms and print the Fibonacci series. So first question, what is a Fibo? Yes, Fibonacci series. Yes, that is a question. So yes, I give the answer. So here zero, we can also start 0 and 1. So 0, 1, and then next term is a sum of these two. So we can store our previous term also. So then and then we can take sum. So 1, yes, 1, 1, then 2, 2, 1 and 2, that is 3, and 2 plus 3, that is 5, and 3 plus 5, that is 8, and 8 plus 5, that 13. So that is going on n number of terms given by user. So that is a Fibonacci series. Yes, and what is a recursion? So function call itself, that is called recursion. Yes, function call itself. So that is UDF. So yes, that also technique. Recursion is a concept. Function call itself, like our user defined function, we have to you define. But here I first define without UDF, and then we can apply to a logic UDF. So that's a header file. So standard input output and console input output. That is a link section, and now main section, main program, main our function is there, and declare some variable like n number of term and iteration to our loop I variable, and f1, that is first term 0, and f2, that is second term 1. Yes, so yes, I think 4 variable we have to take. Okay, and now first enter the number of term from user side. So yes, enter number of terms, because that is a series program. And triangle pyramid, we can enter the number of row, and here number of terms. So yes, and now one for loop. Use all triangle series programming, we can use the for loop. So I equal to 1, not that is not array, but here, and I less than or equal to n, and I plus plus. So yes, I first print directly, because that our require to start with 0 element. So 0 is a f1, so we can print f1 variable. So yes, the first statement, that is complete to our logic. Yes, and print f1 and then sum. So like a 0 plus 1, so that is a 0 and 1, so that is a f1 and f2. So I store in f1 same variable, f1 plus f2, and then our previous next term we can take in some variable. So that is a f2 same variable I can use. Also you can take different variable, but here I use same variable. So f1 minus f2, so that is a one term over require, and now that is a gets here. So that is 3 statement only, that is Fibonacci series is print. So here one is a print statement, and there is a only 2 line of logic. Okay, so I first save, yes, Fibo, and then we can use recursion technique, REC and .c. So Fibonacci series using recursion techniques. Okay, so yes, I compile. Yes, there is a no error, and let us check. Yes, I give 5 terms. Yes, so 0, 1, 1, 1 plus 1, 2, 1 plus 2, 3. Yes, that's going on. So let us check some big size. So I give to 9. So yes, 21. Yes, our first fifth term. So 3 plus 5, 8, 8 plus 5, 13, and 13 plus 8, so 21. Yes, perfectly print, no any error. And in my one video lecture is already in Fibonacci series in YouTube. So that video I also take the watch window and output window. But here is no required because that is same program. But now is here I take some different, and that is a Fibo user defined function. I define Fibo, and that is a with argument but no return value. That type we have to define. Okay, so here we can pass to our n variable. Yes, so here is a n is there. So here fibo, and we can pass to n. Yes, so that is a n variable, and then that is a before the function, that is a definition, and then time semicolon must be. So return data type void, function name is fibo, and one argument, and that type here no require any variable name, that is optional. So we cannot declaration time we cannot give any variable name, that is a optional. So we cannot give any variable name because only one integer we have to pass. And here that is a calling of utf, and after the main we can define definition of fibo. So yes, so first integer n I same variable, and I cut to our divide and conquer. So I cut this logic and pass to here if condition. Okay, and then declare some variable to here also and here. So I remove this all n, only one is required here. Okay, because that is only n is required. And here is a now declare f1 equal to 0 same, and f2 equal to 1, and n is a, and no for loop is required because here is a if condition. Recursion technique, one if condition must be, otherwise that is a infinite loop types, that is recursion function call itself. Okay, so you must be one if condition in the recursion technique, that is a must be, otherwise that is a like endless loop that call itself function and endless repetition. So infinite loop means endless loop, there is no any add, and we can take some action, control pause back 3 or come out in window and close our turbo editor. So if is must be. Okay, so here we can n is pass and greater than. So here 3 line is a perfectly that first term print, and then summation and then subtraction. So here what to do? So here we can call again f fibo because that is a for loop. No, we can remove. So that is a function call itself. So here to here, here to, that is like loop. So I n minus 1. Yes. So that is a required. And how? Yes, let us check. First, not print directly perfect output because all are 0 is printed. Let us check how it's print. So that not output is perfectly print. I give first one not error but logically some taking action. So here all are 0. Yes, why? Because every time function is calling, just look here. So function is like first we can pass n. So here that actual argument here n, and here copy to n. Yes, if you not understand n, here you can give some different variable, like I give x. So here I can just x, and also here x minus 1. So also n same variable use, no any error. Okay, so what happened? So every time that is a local variable f1 and f2. So every time that here plus and minus is there, but when function is called itself, that again that x is greater than 0. Yes, first we can print like 0. Yes, that perfectly, and then that is a 1, and then minus, and that is a also first is 0 and minus 1. So that is also here again because that is a 1 and that's 0. So here store again the 1 because that is a 1. Yes, so here is a we can plus, so that is a 1, and 1 minus 1, so that is a 0 is store. But here is a our every time that initialize because that is local variable. So that is again n minus 1, and that is come to 0 0, all are 0. So yes, if you not understand, so I first take watch what is actually problem is there. So here is a recursion technique, and I take watch window and then also take the output window. Yes, and here is there. And yes, all 0 is printed. Why it's first we can reason, understand, then we can solve this problem. So yes, first I here like f1, but first x, that is our and variable, and then f1, then f2. There are only three variables there. So yes, and n is there in above the our main is n. So n and x are, that is a x is a formal and n is actual argument in UDF concept. So yes, I trace first. Yes, so main start, and here clear the screen. So all are clear here. Yes, so yes, all are clear, and enter number of terms. So yes, scan I five to means I give the n number of terms, enter number of term 5, and then recursion technique function call. Yes, here x is 5, and then come to picture. Yes, f1, and that is some garbage value, but now yes, 0 and 1, and x is greater than 0. Yes, at 5. Yes, and first 0 is print, that first term is perfectly, but now what to do here, that f1 is a 0 plus 1. So yes, first is 1, and then here 1 1 minus, so that is a sec our previous term taking f2. Yes, that's 0, and then again function x minus 1, so that x is 5 and minus, so 4 again call. So what happened, f1 again assigned to 0 and 1, that same, and then yes, condition is true, but our f is 0, so that is always 0 print. So that is a not addition and effect of that addition and subtraction. So always that print 0. Then x minus 1, so 4 minus 1, so that is a 3. Yes, again that print, and then means assign to 0 and 1, sign again, and then condition is 2. So always print the, yes, same, that is repeat that function 0 0 0. So what is a solution? Because that is not perfectly Fibonacci series is print. And yes, greater, not yes, not greater than 0, because x is 0, so that condition is false, and control return to our main. Yes, all are push. Yes, so, and now yes, go to, so that print. So first push and pop, that is a recursion technique, use the stack algorithm. But so all here I print the 0. So what is a solution of this? So only problem is that our logic is perfectly, yes, so we can print also a main, there is no any problem, this is a perfectly logic. But here is a every time initialization f1 and f2 is a 0 and 1 again. So what to do? So our storage classes, that is 4 concept: automatic variable, external variable, static variable, and register variable. If you not watch my video YouTube channel, you can watch storage classes in C language. So that is a static. Yes, here we can define the static. So that is a solve our error. Yes, static is a keyword. So every time not initialize. So I give the static variable local and global both demo in that video lecture. So you can first watch. So that is not every time initialize, only one time. Yes, and by default static variable initialized to 0. So you can also not assign to here 0. That perfectly valid. But here is a 1 is compulsory. By default is value is a 0. So first I give as it is. Let us check first our Fibonacci series is print or not. So yes, there is no any error. So only one required to change, that is a static variable. So only one time, because what happened when function call itself, that again initialize. So that is a f1 is always 0. So all are print 0. So that is a loop is like a Fibonacci series print, but wrong. All are 0. And every time function call itself, so that f1 taking to 0 assigned to itself f1, every time 1 that 0 assigned to its value, and f2 is a 1, but no effect plus and minus, that is no effect, always 0 is printed, no all terms. Okay, so now that is a solution, and let us check that work or not. So yes, I give 5. So yes, perfectly work. So 1 0 plus 1 1 1 1 2 1 2 3. Yes, so that is perfectly print, no any error. So that is a only simple static variable we have to here is a define. So yes, that I think perfectly we have to define, that is our logic, and that is a static only require, no any change is required. So yes, that we can take here, that is a Fibonacci series, and that is a use the recursion logic. So just write this program to your node of C language, and very simple. And you can also watch storage classes in C language in my YouTube lecture, so you can understand what is a static. Static is a, by default we have to assign the zero value. So yes, I first that come out, and yes, so how to that our I close this editor. So yes, one important concept of, yes, I again open one point is remaining. So we can also testing F1 assigned to 0, but yes, here look how we can also open, how to open you have to know very well. So open, and then our Fibo F5 BO that is coming, and recursion technique. Yes, so here our file is open, and we can remove, yes, F1 not assigned to 0. Yes, let us check that, because by default static variable is a 0 that assigned to value. So automatic and register variable assigned to default is a garbage value, and external, or we can say that global variable and static variable by default that value is a 0. So let us check that perfect work or not. So yes, I give some more terms. Yes, so that perfectly work. So here we cannot, yes, I just wait for, yes, 1 1. So 0 1 1, 1 plus 2, that is 3, and 3 plus 5, that 8, and 8 plus 5 13, and 8 plus 13, so 21. Yes, that not required to initialize to here 0, because by default is a 0 value. Okay, and here must be, because here we can assign to 1, not 0. So yes, that is a recursion technique we can apply to perfect. And now yes, all are testing and all are complete our program. So yes, I close this file. So write this program to your node C, and I close, because that is a all perfectly we have to testing. So that is a simple logic we have to define here. Okay. So now I close this file, because we cannot, I think, not taking watch window, but because now you have to understand. Yes, let us check watch window. So what now our first error, and now what is a solution is giving to this program. So we can see one or two terms in watch window. Okay. So output window also take, and let us check one or two terms we can take watch window, how it's possibility. So yes, here I give F1, and then F2, and then X. You can also not give change the end variable. Same use end variable here in UDF, no any error. So yes, I press F7, press yes, to clear the screen, and term, yes, here I give only 3 terms. Okay, so let us check F1. F7 I press, and here X is initialized 3, yes, and then 0 and 1, yes, and greater than, yes, that greater than. So first F1 is 0 is print, and then 0 plus 1, so F1 is a 1, yes. Now F1 is 1 and F2 is a 1, so minus and 0. So our one term is stored in F2, that is and now X minus 1, so 2, and again call itself. So yes, not initialize here, look. So that is a static, only one time initialization by default. So our addition and subtraction, that value is stored, so that is a required to this logic. Previously what happened, your normal local variable, so always that is initialized. So that is a scope life cycle of variable. So here to start here, that again that destroy and again initialize that automatic variable, that means local variable. But here is a static, only one time initialize. That is a very important to in this Fibonacci, means that logic recursion. Okay, so we can require, that is our requirement, and that is fulfill the static variable. Only we can take static keyword, that is our required to perfect logic. So logic is perfect, but every time initialize, that is hurdles. So we can solve that error. Okay. So now yes, X is 2, yes, greater than. So F1 is a 1, yes, next term is print and store. So here is a 1 and here 0. So here that 1, and then here F1 is a 1 and 0, so 1, and F2 is a 1, so 1 1, yes, and then again function call itself, yes, X is 1, So greater than, yes, next term is 1, yes, 1 again, and then 1 plus 1, so that 2 store, and then here 2 minus 1, so that is again f2 is a 1, but f1 is 2 and f1 is, so our previous term store f2, and that is a print f1 is a next term. So now, yes, that complete, because there is only three terms, but now condition is false, so not print. Yes, so only we can print only three terms. So that is a complete. Yes, so we can also testing more terms, but here we cannot wasting our time because we can already see. So that is only solution. What is happening in this logic? Our logic is perfect, but every time initialization is a problem, so we can solve the static. So storage class is a very important automatic local, so local variable here not work perfectly, so we must be, we can assign the static variable declaration. So local variable, global variable, static, and register, there are four storage classes there in C language. Okay, so that is a finish, very simple logic, and we can take error and then give solution what is happening. Okay, so now I close this file and quit, also watch window output and quit. So yes, subscribe my channel Ashok Sijala Academy, press the bell icon to never miss any update. Thanks for your watching, supporting, and sharing my video lecture. And if you press the bell icon, what happen, you can, whenever I upload my new video in YouTube channel, then you can get separately personally notification for new video for this C language or C++, ASP.NET project, four type subject I start at the same time. So FISYTY, all students get the benefit of my college and other college also taking the advantages. So you can share my video to your friends in other college or to your group. So yes, that also benefit for this corona situation, get learning in the home very perfect way. Okay, so yes, any doubt or any question about this logic of recursion in Fibonacci or any of C programming, you can write in comment section. I give the definitely to answer to you. Okay, thanks again, and Hare Krishna.